Hi, this is John Gerardi from Right to Life of Central California, bringing you another in our 40 Videos for 40 Days series. 40 Days for Life is the international campaign of prayer and presence outside of abortion clinics throughout the country and throughout the world. If you want to learn more about our campaign in Fresno, get in touch with us at 559-229-2229. Today on the show, I want to talk about the massive COVID relief bill that President Biden signed into law, this $1.9 trillion piece of legislation. Is going to be funding a whole bunch of stuff, funding various state governments and local governments that are facing budget shortfalls, direct aid to families, et cetera, et cetera. It's a massive, huge spending bill. And certainly there are things about it to like and things about it to dislike. I think from a pro-life perspective, there are some arguments to be made that some of the payments in support of families and expanded child tax credits could be positive things. To encourage people to have more children is generally a good thing from a pro-life perspective. Nevertheless, perhaps the most troubling thing about this piece of legislation is what was not in it. And specifically, what wasn't in it was any Hyde Amendment language. Now, we've talked about the Hyde Amendment in this series of broadcasts before. The Hyde Amendment is the rider that gets attached to federal spending bills in the federal budget every year, and it basically requires that no federal money directly go to fund abortion. It's named after the late Congressman Henry Hyde, who introduced this legislative language in 1976. And every year, every federal budget has included Hyde Amendment language. It has been a point of bipartisan agreement between both pro-life and pro-choice Democrats and Republicans. And Senator Biden, for his 30-plus years in the United States Senate, always supported the Hyde Amendment. He always voted for the Hyde Amendment, endorsed it. He continued to support it during his 8 years as vice president, and finally, in 2019, changed his position. In fact, Joe Biden is now the first president since the Hyde Amendment was first introduced in 1976, the first president to be on the record now opposing the Hyde Amendment, therefore being in favor of federal funding for abortion. This massive, almost $2 trillion COVID relief bill has no Hyde Amendment language, in spite of the massive efforts by various pro-life legislators to insert such language into the legislation. President Biden signed it anyway. This is a huge watershed moment. This is the first massive federal spending bill that has something to do with healthcare funding that has no protections. As a result, this bill is going to funnel millions of dollars towards abortion, not just to abortion providers for their non-abortion services, as happens with Planned Parenthood. We know Planned Parenthood gets about $450 million in Medicaid reimbursements every year, but that's for their non-abortion services. What this bill does is directly have the federal government pay for abortion. It's a sad day. It's an evil day to see this new precedent set. And this is, frankly, this is the result of pro-life legislators losing a majority in the Senate and the result of a new anti-Hyde president being installed in the White House. For Right to Life of Central California, I'm John Gerardi.